Thank you everyone for coming to our recruitment general interest meeting today. My name is Aishwarya. I'm the president of BITS. Today you'll get a chance to learn about the different committees in BITS, the available positions we have in our 8 different committees, and how you can get more involved. So for a quick agenda, first we'll do introductions of everyone. You'll meet all the members of our e-board, so that's all the VPs of the committees. Then we'll go into the requirements for each committee, what we are looking for different types of roles, and how you can really highlight those skills in your application, and hopefully get to an interview and then ultimately join our team. Then we'll talk about the process, deadlines, and how you can make sure that you can increase your chances the most. And then lastly, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask any questions to any of the VPs. So at that part of the event, we'd really encourage you to turn on your camera so we can get to see you and unmute and ask your questions. So yeah, we'll get started with the introductions. Like I said, my name is Aishwarya. I'm the president for BITS. I am a senior, double majoring in BAIT and finance with a minor in economics. And I'm so excited that you guys are all interested in learning more about BITS. Yeah, next slide. Shoria is our executive vice president and Sean is our treasurer. They're both really helpful in making all of our events come true and making sure everything runs smoothly. So we're really grateful for both of them.
Okay, so first we're gonna start off with corporate relations. I'm Isha and I'm one of the VPs of corporate relations. I'm double majoring in BAIT and finance.
Hi, I'm Rashi and I'm a senior and I'm also one of the co-VPs and I'm majoring in BAIT and marketing.
So for corporate relations, right now the roles that we have available are the corporate relations lead, and the roles that are taken are the co-VPs, the directors, the expo director, the LinkedIn director, the alumni relations lead, and BAIT expo lead. So for the corporate relations lead, basically you would manage all of the communications between BITS and professional companies. You would reach out to companies for events, for professional development. And for this role, we're looking for sophomores and juniors. And just about some of the other roles that we're not recruiting for, our alumni relations leads. They manage all communications between Rutgers alumni and BITS alumni, and they reach out to alumni for events. We do a speaker series every year where we have different alumni come in and do an event once a week in April. So for that, we typically recruit freshmen and sophomores. And then the expo lead manages the BAIT Expo every year, which is basically a career fair where we invite recruiters from different companies to come and have like individual time with people who attend. And Rashi.
And some of the things that we are looking for you to be successful in CR is having like basic design skills and creativity. So when we're organizing our events, like obviously we want that type of creativity, but also when we're talking and communicating with our marketing team and with our design team, like telling them like, we want the flyers this way and we want this type of setup. Even when we have our events in person, like the logistics of the event, like we have to be like a little bit creative about it. And that also kind of leads into like social media and interpersonal. Obviously, LinkedIn's a big part of corporate relations and having like a professional like life. And so being creative that way and expanding BITS' network on LinkedIn is one of our major initiatives this year, this semester. And so that's really important. And having consistent communication, you'll see a lot of our BITS related communications goes through Slack. And so being active on the Slack and like taking initiative and stuff like that. Like we want people who are consistent with it. And then also being confident to talk to professionals and talking to recruiters. A lot of our work relies on emailing and cold emailing and making connections through LinkedIn, or whether that's through LinkedIn or through like our professional events or through other club events. And so being confident that way and maintaining relationships is really important. And with that, like last thing is having a fast-paced mindset. CR is like go, 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 one after the other, what's next, what's next. And so being able to keep up with that and keep up with all the initiatives and projects that we're working on, it's really important.
Hi, everyone. So I will be filling in for Juliana, our VP of Marketing. Just to briefly introduce myself, I am a executive advisor on the leadership team. And yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about the roles for marketing. So marketing is currently recruiting for 4 roles: marketing analytics, marketing research, marketing strategy, and social media manager. The roles that are taken are obviously VP, director of marketing, analytics, marketing strategy manager, and content creation manager. Now going back to the roles that are actually available, marketing analytics will really be essentially you're learning or you're implementing how to use analytics that you collect on our various social media platforms and use it to actually drive decisions on how we execute our marketing campaigns and just the organization overall. So it's more of a it's more on the analytical side of marketing. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to grow your skill set in, this is a really great role to apply for. If you have some prior experience, that's great. If you don't have prior experience, but you're just really interested in marketing analytics, this would be a great role for you. There is no class year preference for marketing analytics. Honestly, it's just based on your interest. If you're really interested in marketing analytics, we highly encourage you to apply. This is not one of those roles that you should apply to as a generalist marketing role because it's very skills based. So yeah, that's marketing analytics. Then for social media manager, essentially it's in the name itself, you're managing all of the social media platforms for BITS, including the Instagram and the Facebook. So that's everything from, making sure you post on the social media at the right time, at the, following deadlines. You're maintaining the social media and, if there's DMs, make sure you respond to them in a timely manner. And yeah, so just the overall management of the BIT social media platforms and also just managing engagement on those platforms. It's not just about the posting, it's also engaging with your followers and, just making sure everything is running smoothly. So again, there is no class year preference for social media manager. As long as, you like this area of marketing, you should apply. Now moving on to marketing strategy lead. So I'm actually going to switch the order in which I talk about this just a little bit. So I'm going to talk about marketing research lead first. So marketing research lead, essentially they research, develop, and document marketing campaign initiatives. So this is kind of like a R&D for marketing campaigns. You're doing a lot of research, you're organizing it into various documents. So you have to be organized in Google Drive, and overall you're able to manage a lot of information and you're really like deep diving into research. And kind of benchmark, you're like benchmarking research essentially. Then this leads well into the marketing strategy lead because strategy essentially is taking all of that research and turning it into actionable plans and strategies to execute. So that's what the marketing strategy lead does, is that they execute, they compile all the, they look through all the research, figure out what campaigns are actually going to be executed, and then they execute it. Again, they also document the actual campaign onto docs as well. So again, Google Drive is just a huge part of most committees. But yeah, stay organized. And the last role that we're recruiting for is historian. So this is kind of like a videographer, photographer. You would be attending all the events throughout the semester and just taking like videos and photos. And this will essentially be used in all facets of our organization, whether that be a website, a flyer, or our yearbook, which we create at the end of the year. So yeah, those are all the roles that we'll be recruiting for in terms of general skills for all marketing roles. It's a very creative team, just like the design team. You have to be creative. You have to think outside the box. And you also need like social media experience. I'm sure all of you have some sort of interaction with Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, but that's especially important for this team. Video editing is more specific to the historian role. You might be involved in that since you're taking videos and photos. and consistent communication. So just reiterating Slack, that is our main mode of communication. I mean, also communication on the platforms, making sure you're engaged with your followers and responding to DMs. And time management organization is huge for marketing because there's often deadlines for how the marketing campaign will be executed. So time management and organization overall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amani Syed. And we'll be introducing the newsletter team. I am a junior at RBS. I'm double majoring in finance and BAIT and double minoring in education and sustainability. So I am the half of our co-editor-in-chief on the newsletter.
Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Stavrakis. I am a senior and a BAIT major, and yeah, as Amani said, I am the other half of the co-editors-in-chief. So right now, Newsletter is looking to recruit junior writers. That's the role that we have open currently. So for what a junior writer might do is they would research events, perhaps professional events like job opportunities or tech opportunities like hackathons, and other current events in different industries. And we would use that content for our weekly newsletters and other BAIT-related concepts. Some of the recommended qualifications for a junior writer would just be, you know, the basics: outgoing, social, approachable, creative, and then organized, detail-oriented, and then just a strong sense of accountability. We work with a lot of deadlines, so being able to follow a calendar, of course, is very welcome here. In addition to those weekly responsibilities, we would also be writing some longer form articles, which are typically included in the Bits by Bits issues, which are published via Medium, which, you know, 2 of those just came out last week, so hopefully you got to see those. And then for time commitment, we would say that typically a junior writer might have to dedicate 2 to 2.5 hours weekly. That could be including RCBM. Of course, there are fluctuations depending on other factors and potentially cross-committee work, but in general, we would not expect it to go above that.
Thank you, Nicole. Just going off of what Nicole said, newsletter is one of our newer committees for BITS, so we still have a lot of room to grow, and we're looking for more people to help us grow. But in terms of what we do, we're obviously the ones who organize and curate BAIT-related content for the BITS community. So we're the ones who get the word out about events, about job opportunities, about what's going on in the world of BAIT, and it's honestly a great way for all of you to get your foot in the door into the world of like BAIT and figuring out like how to research and how to reach out to people. And we work with basically all of the other committees as well. So it's a great place to be. And for preferred skills, we use Medium, MailChimp, and Canva on like a daily basis. So if you have those skills, like definitely apply, but those are also like not skills that they're skills that you can also learn like with us and stuff like that. Writing and proofreading experience is obviously very important. We're the newsletter committee. Having like clear and concise and engaging writing skills is really important for us because we're the ones who are getting the word out about basically everything to everyone. And then strong editing skills, obviously, like you're looking over your other co-editors, co-writers work and stuff like that. So having like a keen sense of looking out for other people's mistakes and just like it's a great place to be. So if you're interested in newsletter, please apply because we're looking for us to grow. So our little plug.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Perfect. So, hi guys, I'm currently a junior, majoring in computer science and minoring in economics, and I'm the VP of Webdev committee. And yeah, can you go to the next slide? So, unfortunately, we are not hiring for any roles for the semester, but if you're really interested in joining, you can stay connected with us and probably apply next semester if the recruiting opens. So, but I'll give you an overview of the current roles we have here in the here in the Webdev committee. So I'm obviously the VP of Webdev, and there are 4 other committee members who are web developers, and essentially their responsibility is to collaborate with others on the team to just brainstorm ideas for the website. And yeah, I didn't mention, so the web dev team, what it does is we are collaborating with each other and using Webflow, which is a no-code tool, to build the website for the club for Guest Bits. So some of your responsibilities as a web developer in the web dev committee will be to just look for new design and collaborate with others to develop the website using Webflow. And also, once we have a working version of the website, just keep it updated with all the new events and new committee members. So yeah, and some of the skills that are recommended for the web developer role include having a good eye for design, also staying organized and detail oriented, which is very important, and a strong sense of accountability, and also strong communication skills, which is super important. And also, if you have some prior experience with HTML, CSS, or Webflow or other no-code tools, that is definitely very helpful, but it's not required at all. So yeah.
Hey, my name is Alec. I'm the VP of the tech team. I am a senior majoring in supply chain B. Next slide, please. So sadly, this semester we are not recruiting. However, I'll go into maybe possible connection opportunities in a second. So right now on the tech team, we have 2 main initiatives. One of them is BDAA. That stands for BITS Data Analytics Accelerator. And so what we do with that is we host a bunch of technical workshops on topics like Python, R, Tableau, SQL, stuff like that. Before we did Power BI, we even went into machine learning one time. That's cool, if you ask me. But anyway, so all these workshops are basically based around data analytics. And at the end of it, we have a project basically to apply the skills that you've learned. You can put that in your resume. It also works really well. Oh, that's going to naughty web scraping. But you can put that on your resume, and also great opportunity for networking with us, and also great opportunity for refining the skills that you learned. We basically tailor that around what we've learned so far. I actually got recruited because of the BDA and my project. So if you want to, that's a good opportunity if you want to be on the tech team. So yeah. And then the other thing we do is Datathon. So Datathon is a new initiative that we have. It's pretty much just a hackathon. I'm sure you've probably heard of a hackathon, but it's based around data analytics. So this is a great chance to basically learn skills, show off your skills to employers and recruiters, expand your network, and have a fun time. So, and then beyond that, we do miscellaneous events. So last semester we did a Halloween murder mystery using some coding skills and business skills, basically to solve a mystery. That was super fun. I had a great time making that and also participating in it. Datathon is a new initiative. What else do we have? We just have a bunch of other stuff. We just kind of come up with new events whenever. So if you have an idea for a cool event, definitely just bring it up, and you can spearhead it, and we'll make that event. So that's super cool. So we just do a lot of fun stuff. As far as requirements go, as you can see there's some technical stuff on the bottom of the screen there, but that's not really important. Although that's great and that's awesome, and that does play a role in the decision, the main thing that we look for are time management and communication. So yeah.
All right. Hey, everyone. So I am Michelle, and I'm the co-VP for events for BITS, and I'm going to hand it off to Caitlin.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm a junior majoring in Data Supply Chain, and I'm also the VP for events this semester.
All right, so this semester, contrary to tech and web dev, we are looking for some people to be our events lead, otherwise known as event coordinator. And this role is expected to frequently communicate with our director of events to organize our new engaging and creative events. So shout out to our director of events, Arshia, who's in the call right now. And also we're looking for people that are not only creative, but also intend to plan and execute these events and all the operations related to it, such as food, logistics, and room booking, and etc. Some of the events that events team does is the mentorship program that is done in the fall, the BIT Summit this summer, as well as retreats and happy hours for our community to just have fun and bond together. And I'm also going to have Caitlin explain some of the skills that we would like you to have.
So we're basically looking for someone that is very organized and someone that can manage their time specifically. We have strict deadlines that we have to meet, and it's very important to just be creative and have fresh ideas. And going off of the organization idea, we would like someone who has proficiency in utilizing Google Drive and Excel.
Sorry, I forgot. So this is the leadership committee. I will be talking about the roles, but if our leadership team wants to just go ahead and introduce themselves.
I'll start.
Do you want to go first?
You want to go first, Dulce?
Oh no, I was just saying you go first.
Oh, me, okay. I'm Isha, and I run the strategy team for leadership.
Hi everyone, my name is Tulsi. I am a junior. I am double majoring in patent finance, and yes, I am the one who's posting a lot of messages on the chat, but they're fun, so look at them. Anyhow, I am the VP of leadership for BITS this semester, and I'll pass it off to Amani.
It's me again. I am the VP of membership.
All right, thank you, leadership team. So I'll be talking about the new roles and the taken roles. So we are actually recruiting a completely new role this semester called finance lead. And the roles that are taken obviously are already co-presidents, executive vice president, treasurer, the VPs of membership and strategy, and as well as director positions on membership and strategy. As for this new role called finance lead, essentially you will be managing the creation, development, and execution of our sponsorship packages and financial partnerships with external organizations. You'll be also planning and facilitating fundraisers just to help increase our general revenue, which essentially can be used on anything as opposed to funding we get from the university, which may have some restrictions. So you can get really creative with fundraisers and involve the entire community. So it's really that's like a fun and creative aspect of the role. And essentially you'll be serving as a deputy treasurer in order to follow up on budget items every semester. So you'll be checking on the budget, making sure everything's in line. And the reason is it's called deputy treasurer is because you're not like the actual treasurer. Essentially, you're working alongside the treasurer to make sure everything on the budget is working smoothly. And regarding budget items, you'll be in communication with RBGA for funding and appeals. So again, that's just related to budget items. In terms of what are some preferred skills for finance lead, prioritization, this is, I guess, three main priorities you have going on with sponsorship packages, partnerships, and fundraisers and the budget. So essentially, you have to be good at prioritizing, what is the most important thing to do on your plate at the time. Delegation. So you will likely have a co-finance lead. So between the two of you, the two finance lead, delegating between each other, like who will be doing what. Time management is huge, common theme in all of the committees so far. When they say that you should join an organization to learn soft skills, time management and communication are two of the biggest ones, which are things that you can't really learn inside the classroom. So just a little plug, another thing that you really should have in this role is time management and adaptability and flexibility as well, because this is kind of like a cross committee role as well. So you'll be in constant communication with other committees, and if they want to make changes, you have to be flexible to those changes and incorporate them as you go along. Empathy as well, just it's part of, I think, empathy, like just in any any team working role, like you have to make sure you're thinking, you know, what is the other, how do they feel? You know, for example, like you don't want to give someone a deadline to get you something you need from them like tomorrow. So that's just like a quick example of empathy and strong communication. I think we've emphasized the strong communication enough through all the committees. So just make sure you're responsive on Slack and you have strong communication and you keep everyone updated on what you're working on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Neha. I'm one of the VPs of design. I'm currently a sophomore, double majoring in Bait and Psych. And then I'll let Ian introduce herself.
Hello, I'm the other part of the VP for design, and I am a junior double majoring in marketing and accounting.
Okay, so our current available roles are currently graphic designer, and our taken roles are VP, director, and we have some graphic design roles already taken as well. I'm just gonna get started off the end with our main duties that we do. Something that design does is we really do communicate and facilitate communications with a lot of the other committees as well, because we are in charge of making flyers for every single one of the events that we have. So everything that you've heard of, like the datathon, like things like that, we make flyers for and we put up on our Instagram using marketing and stuff like that. So we do want to develop creative and innovative and attractive designs through our whole process. We create and follow a lot of color schemes. We build up different color schemes for not only flyers, but as well as our website development. And we want to really build up a brand through our different like designs and marketing itself as well. So we really do want to collaborate with all of our committees as well as our own designers to develop new initiatives in order to kind of implement those ideas and build up the BITS brand themselves. And then Ian, do you want to go over recommended skills?
Sure. So we recommend that you be proficient in Canva and Google Drive. Again, we use Google Drive in a lot of our communication with other committees. Canva will be our main medium for creating flyers. And a plus would be Adobe Photoshop, because that is a much harder software to use, and it will help if you are able to use it and help in other, like help you get other projects to do other than Canva flyers. We also want our candidate to have a design for creativity, because that's very important in creating a variety of flyers on our Instagram feed, and have excellent organization and time management skills, again, to make our deadlines, because for design team, deadlines often come up really quick sometimes, or they are very short notice. And we want our candidate to also have attention to details for typos, accuracy, and it's also an added part of us having creativity and having a skill for seeing aesthetic.
Like Ian said, we do need people that are extremely adaptable, because there is sometimes you do have to do things last minute and you have to like develop to do different brands and color schemes and things like that. And we also need people that are communicative. You need to be able to reach out to your own team. You need to rely on one another, be relying on the other teams to give you the details needed for the flyers and etc. And so we love people who are adaptable and communicative, and as well as have kind of just a passion for putting things together, for designing in general, because we really do want to see like our Instagram blossom, because we're trying to like attract all of you guys to come to our events, of course.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about deadlines and our recruiting process.
So for our requirements that you have seen in general in all of these committees, some of the key points that you've seen like as a trend through all of them, obviously, is communication. You've heard a lot of VPs talk about reaching out to other members in Slack or texting people, and just taking that extra effort to reach out to someone if you need something, instead of just waiting for your next meeting or just hoping that someone else will take care of it for you. Availability varies for different committees, but on average, at least 3 hours per week. So that includes the time that you're spending in meetings and also doing the work that you're assigned for that week. And then on top of that, coming to BITS events, because obviously we want you to be a active member in our events too, because at the end of the day, the events that we host are for the betterment of BIT majors and like business school kids in general. Then time management is also very important. You have to be able to know what your tasks are, when you're going to complete them, and making sure you're doing them ahead of deadlines. And lastly, growth, because we want BITS to continue to grow in the business school and make sure that we're really fulfilling our vision of making people understand the intersection of business and technology.
Okay, so this is like a basic outline of the application process. So this Sunday, February 13th, is when our application is going to open, and it's going to stay open for 3 weeks until March 6th, which is the application deadline. And then within a couple of weeks, you should get an email if you are invited to the interviews. For this recruiting cycle, we're only having 1 round of interviews. And that will be that round of recruiting will start, or that round of interviews will start on March 21st. And then on April 4th is when we will send out decisions. So just to reiterate, the application deadline is March 6th. March 21st is when the interviews begin, and then decisions are sent out. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the slide deck. If you guys have any questions, you can contact us through our email. You can use the QR codes to join our mailing list, and also follow us on Instagram to stay updated on future events. And then we can open up the call to questions now.